is, as dumb as they come.
Huh?
Freakazoids. All right, time to focus in on what we're talking about tonight. All right. Very cool. Well, tomorrow is the beginning of the preliminary hearings in the Tyler Robinson case that we'll be covering here. I think it'll be amazing. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to go over all the different everything again right now, so that when you see it tomorrow, the only stuff that'll be incredibly interesting will be the new information. And you'll be able to know what the new information is because we've gone over it. All right, so this is obviously the, related to Charlie Kirk being shot. I think it was on September 10th of 2025. And, Tyler Robinson's been charged and I believe is in fact 100% the shooter of Charlie Kirk. Tyler Robinson 100% did it. Now you can say, well, I don't know, Gray, let me see. Well, you can do whatever the hell you want. The truth is he did it. All right. He's going to sue you, Gray. Good luck. All right. Good luck. Right. Hello, Jimeline. Is that what that is? Oh, and by the way, I was on, I guess at 8:57 Tucson was doing a live stream, regarding Nancy Guthrie. And I guess he mentioned my name, so a lot of different people came over and subscribed to my channel. And then I went over there to say thanks, and then I went up on, and, just, he asked me what I thought, and I said all the stuff that I think, and, it's just kind of weird, though, like, so even when you go over there, only 30% of them believe that it's a ransom. See, and it's like, how did that happen to everybody else's audience? Like my audience, it's much higher than that. Like a kidnapping for ransom, it's not 30%. It's like over 50 for sure. It's just using common sense, logic, and reason. That's what makes sense. And I don't know. It's just kind of strange, how it all. Depending on where you go, and see, that just shows you that conspiracy theories sell, right? Because if you're sort of peddling something not traditional, then everybody goes, ooh, this is so interesting. Look at this. Look. And the truth is this case is I think it's, the FBI has been looking at the Nancy Guthrie case as a kidnapping for ransom the whole time. Okay? So that's likely what it is, because they believe that. They know more than us. All right. Anyways, it just shows you, though, that's why it's hard when I just do the facts and I don't do conspiracy theories. You don't get as many viewers because they want to believe in something else. We're not about believing here. We're over here to prove stuff, right? All right. Anyways, so this is going to be where I'm going to be going over the documents again, etc. So if you guys want to support the channel while I'm doing it, that'd be great. That way I don't have to stop every 10 minutes and go, hey guys, because we got to keep reaching the goals. All right. So here we go. So I think this is the first document that came out. And it was from the, you know what I need to also do? Let me get my timeline out of here. Get somewhere. And the show from last night, at the end of it, there was 10 different copyright issues because of that music that was sung, even though it wasn't like in an album or anything. They just sung it. So there wasn't like a negative, it just couldn't monetize it. But screw it. I just got rid of it. But it was fun hanging out with all you guys. So who's going to start us off? Get us moving forward tonight. Yeah, we only got 45 people here. I don't know, man. It's just, why bother? Good Lord. 43 now. Is anybody even going to watch tomorrow? Yeah, they all believe in it, Sandy. Every one of them. All right, so we're... let's see. I didn't ask you if you watched Lawyers or anything like that. I don't know why you do those kind of comments. It's weird. Right, but I mean, we've only got 43 people here, so you'd think there'd be more people wanting to watch this. It's a whole day thing. It's like a mini trial. 7:30 in the morning. All right, but I need your guys' support while we're doing this show. Okay. All right. Thanks. All right, so this is the original probable cause document that came out. I have a timeline too. Maybe at the very end we could just zip through that. But it says the following information is obtained by your affiant from police officer, multiple video recordings posted on social media websites, etc., etc., etc. I'm just going to go down to where it starts talking about it. Thank you, Lasso Lacey. Charles was holding a microphone and speaking to a crowd. While speaking into the microphone, a loud gunshot was heard at approximately 12:23. Yes, 12:23:28. And Charles appeared to have been hit in the neck. Blood was seen coming out of the left side of his neck as he fell over. Charles was transported to the Timpanogos Regional Hospital. And then it said... investigators observed an individual on the rooftop of the Losi Center building on the UVU campus at the time of the shooting. So while reviewing surveillance cameras, investigators observed an individual on the rooftop of the Losi Center building. And yeah, I mean, they jumped right over to that camera that's in the parking lot. Like the camera they're discussing is this. It's right here. This little point that sticks out right there, that's a camera. I mean, if you squint your eyes, you can see it's, this stuff here is just garbage for the 3D model. But the white part is the camera there. So that camera that was right there filmed over there, and they saw an individual on the roof. And I have the same shot, okay? So if you go like that, right below here is that camera, literally right underneath here. So I'm probably, 2 or 3 feet higher, but it's the exact same distance. And so they have a camera that they can do this with. It's a 360-degree camera. They can record whatever the hell they want, look around, etc. Yeah, you have to hit the all videos notification. Thanks, Alley Cake. All right, and then it said, based on surveillance camera footage, suspect appears to be a white male with dark-colored hair, wearing a dark-colored hat, sunglasses, a long-sleeved black shirt with a picture of an American flag and an eagle printed on the shirt, dark-colored jeans, and white-gray shoes with white-colored shoelaces. And that's this guy right here. That's him. That's who they just described. All right? Just like that. And this is a montage I put together of when he got pulled over by the cops a couple years ago. compared to what he looked like that day. I mean, obviously, it's the same guy, you know? I mean, it's just absolutely, I mean, look at this, like this picture right there. I mean, it's just incredible. You know, a little slightly different angle, like that one's down towards him, and this one's a little bit below almost, and then from the side, but, you know, there he is, right there. And his parents actually recognized him from those images. Suspect appears to be a white male with dark hair. We just went through all that. He has Chuck Taylor Converse-style shoes. Suspect is also carrying a dark-colored backpack on his back. Suspect walks with a distinctive gait prior to the shooting. Suspect appears to walk with a stiff right leg and at a relatively slow pace. Suspect's ability to bend his right leg appear to be restricted. So it was restricted because he has a gun down his pants. Restricted. Investigators were able to track suspect's movements on the UVU campus starting at approximately 11:50 hours on 9/10/2025. So we actually have them earlier now. So this is the very first thing that they put out, but they subsequently came up with more surveillance footage, etc. So this came out like almost, right away within a day or two. At approximately 11:50 hours, a UVU surveillance camera first captured suspect walking across the grassy area north of Campus Drive at approximately 800 West. Suspect walked south through the parking lot. So it says, let's see, captured suspect walking across a grassy area. Yeah, see, I think they have another camera out there that runs under. So we're going to see new footage, in my opinion. Like, I think there's probably, so what they're talking about right now is right over here. So he cuts across there, but I bet you, I think what we saw the other day, there was a 360-degree camera somewhere else around here. And it might even be over there. Who knows? Maybe there's a camera. Well, that kind of looks like maybe that's a camera. And maybe from there you can see him walking across like that. And then even over to here, then there's a camera right underneath here that's going to film him standing right there. All right, you guys, we need you guys to communicate and talk in here. I don't know how many times. It just seems like every night I say this. Now I'm saying it again because see where Althea later on typed that in about 3 minutes ago, and there hasn't been another comment. 3 minutes is a hell of a long time. All right, so can you guys communicate in the chat? That's how more people show up. That's why we only have 48 people here. Hello? God, it's just so frustrating. Unbelievable. Why bother? It's just... Yeah, preliminary, it starts at 8 in the morning Pacific Standard Time. 9 o'clock, the local time there, which is an hour ahead of me, and probably 12, let's see. I guess like 11 o'clock Eastern. Yeah, I'm coming on here at 7:30 my time. At approximately 12:15, says approximately 12:02 hours, suspect is recorded walking on the north side of the Losi Center building, walking with the same gait as observed earlier. Suspect entered the Losi Center building through a set of doors on the southeast corner of the Losi Center building. At 12:15 hours, the suspect was observed walking up the stairs, etc. I have a video that I made that shows basically this whole thing. So I guess what we could do is show that, and then we'll go over those other documents. I can tell you guys aren't really that interested, so I'm going to go ahead and Let's see, which one is this? Yeah, I think it's this one. I didn't say mountain time. I didn't say mountain time. I said 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. There, I'll just do the audio.
Gray Hughes of Gray Hughes Investigates.
So that's like
This video.
That right there is a just an AI generated version of him walking down the same tunnel, and then he ends up going up these stairs that you can see off to the left over there, right over here, to the left, right there.
Is the long-awaited part 2 of Tyler Robinson's final movements on September 10th, 2025, the day that Charlie Kirk was killed. Make sure to watch the entire video.
Okay, I'm just going to move this forward.
That starts picking him up, and he walks along.
Yeah, so this is the reality of the information that they have. So they probably have even more video than this, but this is a video that was put out. Law enforcement's never mentioned it, nor is it used in any of their original probable cause documents. But this right here is Tyler Robinson walking
along that sawtooth fence. Now, there you see Tyler Robinson. He's got the backpack on, his jeans, hat.
And he's limping.
And he's walking by the sawtooth wall that I call it.
But he's got a little limp.
And he's heading down.
Sliding the one leg.
Now, in a moment here, a vehicle appears to stop at the same intersection he was at. And originally it looked like, wow, that's pretty odd. But it turns out that the sidewalk that Tyler's walking by right now is red, and you cannot park there, meaning the curb is painted red, but it's been worn away so you can hardly see it. So this car looks like it pulled up and was about to park there and went, oh, okay, I can't park there. And then he drove forward. And you can see it went about as far as he was. It even goes past where you can see it on the camera right here, where the red is, so there was no spots for him to park. And then we go back to Tyler Robinson's view. He's passing 750 West right now. And you can see the street sign.
And this is exactly what he did. So you'll see it.
800 South still.
You know, interestingly, though, just recently, there was a guy that sent me some aerial footage from out there, and it turns out that it's very, incredibly likely that Tyler Robinson parked right there. In fact, there's even a, let me see if I can find that. Yeah, aerial images. Let's see. I think is that it? I'll just pull this one out. Yeah, these are actually images from that day. I'm just trying to see if this one has the vehicle. Yeah, see, isn't that crazy? Look at that, right there. It appears to be a Dodge Challenger parked right in that spot. Now look where that spot is. It's right here. And then here's where he's walking. He's walking like this, so he could have walked this direction and then turned and went that way. We see his car drive earlier like this, right? But then maybe he even parked here before he did his dry run even. Maybe, like he walked. Well, no, I think it wasn't there. That's right. It moved there at a specific time. So when he did his dry run, he walked down this direction and he's over here, but that's so perfect that it's on that street, and then we pick him up walking like right there, So like he came like this, went this direction, and then headed towards campus. Gotta go back. Anyways, you guys can help support the channel. We are currently at $6.98. Does that seem reasonable? All right, let's see. We are at preliminary hearing. And then I think it's this one. Yeah.
You watch this whole video, Robinson, that they so poorly zoomed up Keeler. He went out there originally a long time ago. I went there 100 West. This is Robinson.
So right after it walked by that
representing him
sawtooth fence,
through the scene,
started walking
will
this
look
direction.
really similar to that.
Okay,
So right now we are
right here.
about to turn on 800 West. This is from Tyler Robinson.
And actually, yeah, that wasn't those weren't satellite images I just showed you. They were from an airplane.
Point of view. I do use a little clip from Chuck Keeler. He went out there originally a long time ago. I went there in October, and this is the footage that I got on my 360-degree camera.
So the time at the top is exactly the time frame. So everything that you're seeing in here is exactly what's in the document.
And then you can actually see the parking garage.
However, some of it I filled in with animation or, just video to fill in the gap, because it's obvious where he went, like if, you'll see it.
Way down there through the opening on the street in the background. So Tyler Robinson's walking right here. And then when we get to that next driveway on the left, that's the driveway that we see Tyler Robinson running out of in the TMZ video that they so poorly zoomed in on. And
so what's interesting is TMZ doesn't, not TMZ, the law enforcement doesn't mention any of the videos that the public found out there. Like the video that I got where Tyler Robinson's walking around, and it's even in the first video that I have. And what I'll do before we go over these other documents, we'll play that one and then read the document, and then it all ties together until this. See, this video starts at 11:45. There's stuff before that. But none of the video that are seen on people's homes were mentioned in the documents at all.
Pretty much ruined the look of. Now you can see in front right there are some fuchsia, sort of, dark pink looking flowers on the ground there. And when Tyler Robinson almost reaches the end of the fuchsia plants, that's when the TMZ camera picks him up on his way in. Okay, so there's that other footage that I just mentioned that's after the shooting. This is on the way in. So right about now, we're going to start picking him up. Here we go. And there he is. See him in the upper left by those same
He's walking by the fuchsia plants up there.
And he's walking by again, favoring the right leg.
This isn't mentioned in the documents. This whole video.
He's got a sweatshirt on with a white logo in the middle. Turns out to be an eagle. He's got the hat on. And this is all synced up in time. So everything that you're seeing right now is happening right when it was happening on a clock. Okay, so this is the exact amount of time it would take to do this. So this is Chuck Keeler's video. This little portion right here. Because he walked right next to the wall just like Tyler Robinson did.
There's a camera up there. That picks him up the next shot that you see.
So he continues walking, and then on the right there, the house with the 3 garage doors, they have a camera above that. And then just past this bush, he's picked up again. At approximately 11:50 a.m., a UVU surveillance camera first captured Robinson walking across a grassy area north of Campus Drive at approximately 800 West. This is interesting because the camera that we're looking at...
he's not a patsy, you idiot. We're just doing... Listen, if you're coming in here and you think Tyler Robinson's a patsy, you're not welcome. You're an idiot. Just leave, okay? It's ridiculous at this point. You guys are an embarrassment.
Right now is not a UVU camera, so where was that camera?
Get the hell out of here.
And now we have Tyler Robinson making his way to
make your comment,
the grassy
you're not welcome. I'm not going to sit there and treat you like a reasonable
pause, almost
person.
like he hesitated as if he was about to change his mind. But then he continues forward. Now we switch back to the view that Tyler Robinson
so somehow they have him walking across this grassy area right here.
would have had.
I don't know.
And he makes his way to the
look-alike was in this
bridge that goes over this little waterway here.
An idiot. Jesus, you got to be kidding me.
So here's the makeshift bridge. He goes over it.
Yes, because Tyler Robinson was so important.
This is likely exactly the route that he took because it avoids having to use steps. So when you see him walking
that's right here.
He goes right down here. I doubt he went left over there because then you have to go down some stairs
and then he's
or jump over the wall.
Towards the tunnel.
He just walked down right here and it takes you to the ground level of the parking area. This parking area leads to the
tons of stuff from his cell
garage
phone.
if you
They've
go
got
through
it
the
all.
tunnel. Now Tyler Robinson makes his way to the asphalt parking area here. He likely goes around to the left.
Have you missed some of those documents?
The least populated area of this parking area. Now on the screen every once in a while you'll see text, and that text is either from the probable cause or charging documents. And we will be reading some of that now as we have prior to this, and it says Robinson walks south through the parking lot and approaches a pedestrian tunnel that runs underneath Campus Drive. Robinson pauses briefly before entering the tunnel. Before entering the tunnel, Robinson pauses at the top of the stairs and pulls out what appears to be a cell phone from his right pocket using his right hand at approximately 11:53 a.m.
It's a look-alike. Man, that's ridiculous.
And as you can see, he's just about to approach the top of the stairs that go underneath into the tunnel that lead to the parking garage. And in the documents, it states that Robinson appears to be manipulating the cell phone device with his hands,
already know that,
possibly texting.
We already
Robinson
know this
eventually puts
it's
what
not
appears
like,
to be a cell
good
phone
idea.
back in his right pants pocket using his right hand. Robinson walks down the stairs.
These are just AI images. That's like what he probably was doing at the top of the stairs. Probably needs a backpack on, but doesn't seem like it. Put it on.
And noticeably keeps his right leg mostly straight while walking down the stairs
I have the time
into the tunnel.
Going by quicker.
As you can see, the clock is ticking really quickly. I think he was there for a while, because they do even use the term eventually he puts the phone back in his pocket. So it seems like he's there for a while, given how fast somebody might walk, etc. Like my normal walking speed, he's walking probably 70 to 80% of that with that limp action that he's got.
Yes, we know that, you guys. The rifle's down his pants. We know the whole thing.
And I'm just using some AI
I'm just showing
images
you
I created off of that image you see right there.
The order.
So that is
Here.
basically what it looked like. This is where the camera was. I put my 360-degree camera right where this camera was, and it's hard to make it exact, but
and
that's
I
where
filmed
he was
this
standing.
when I was there, walking through the tunnel. So here I am walking
Robinson
through the tunnel.
walks through the tunnel and into the parking garage area. Robinson walks up the stairs to the second level of the parking garage. While walking up the stairs in the parking garage, Robinson continues to keep his right leg straight. As Robinson approaches the landing on the stairs between the first and second floor, it appears as though there is something bulging out from Robinson's waistband area as he walks up the stairs. The bulge appears to be underneath Robinson's black shirt and on the right side of Robinson's waistband area. Now these images that you see here are the ones released to the media, and these are the images that Tyler Robinson's parents used to recognize him. Robinson's mother stated the following to police.
The rifle
On
is
September
located
11,
in his
2025, the day after the shooting, Robinson's mother saw the photo of the shooter in the news and thought the shooter looked like her son. Robinson's mother called her son and asked him where he was. He said he was homesick and that he had also been at home sick on September 10th. Robinson's mother expressed concern to her husband that the suspected shooter looked like Robinson. Robinson's father agreed. Corroborating what Tyler's mother said, Robinson's father
that is a
reported
wow how I
that
did
when
the
his wife
overlay
showed him
going
the
up the
surveillance
stairs.
image of the suspected shooter
Cool,
in the news, he agreed that it looked like their son. So obviously after Tyler Robinson goes up the stairs and exits the parking garage. He's walking in this direction towards the Losi Center building. In fact, at the very end of this, straight ahead to the left is the Losi Center building.
In 28 minutes, he'll 23 minutes, he'll have
right
shot
here,
him.
he would have veered off to the left.
Yeah, I filmed this
to
whole
avoid
thing
any steps.
myself when I was there.
Now he can just sort of walk up a ramp, avoiding at least one set of stairs.
Yeah, so he's walking this way to avoid having to go up as many stairs as possible.
And I think this is exactly how he went. Now, they may have cameras that show he walked in a different direction down here, maybe just walked on the road, etc., but this is where he went.
This is where I think he went, right here. And then he goes up these 3 steps on the left there.
And see how we haven't had to go up any stairs yet. Now, right here on the left, he has to go up these 3 steps, which are pretty easy.
So the voice is
real short steps.
Goes part of the video, but I'm talking too.
And then he stays here, and again, it ramps up and avoids more stairs. Because if you look at the stairs on the right there, see how long those are? They go down. But he doesn't have to take those. Because if he had gone down on that street, he would have to go all the way up those stairs. But right here, he would turn left and go up this shorter stairs. And really, that's the last set of stairs he's going to be taking until he goes up the stairs to make it onto the roof of the Losi Center building. Now, if you've been watching Candace Owens, she'll tell you how, man, this guy was like a gymnast, how he got up on the roof. And, you know, it's almost as if she's never watched any of the real reporting on the case and just goes with whatever sounds cool that day. So again, look at right here. He would go up this brick road here instead of walking straight ahead and going up all those stairs. This is much easier. So he's walking, you know, he's still swinging the leg, etc. In a moment here, I'll be switching over to a 3D animation using a similar shot. I
guarantee it's going to look like that.
A 360 degree image that I took from.
Yeah, so you know that drone footage, this drone footage right here. I use this to create an animation where you see him walking over here, and it's going to look exactly like I'm showing you on, except he'll be limping. I couldn't make the person limp, the animated character, but you're going to see it's going to look just like that at the hearing.
Exactly up in the air, within a foot or two of where that 360 degree camera is.
But hey, any chance you guys can help support the channel tonight? We're trying to keep reaching the goals. We are absolutely struggling. We're 33 minutes in, and we are at 1/60th of the nightly goal. That filmed the Losi Center building that law enforcement used, and I have an image that replicates that, and you'll see that here in a minute. So we know from the documents that at approximately 12:02 p.m., Tyler Robinson can be seen coming around this corner right here. So you look at, watch this, right here, see? That's what it's going to look like. Just like that.
The documents
state be limping,
that at approximately 12:02 hours, Robinson is observed walking on the north side of the Losi Center building, walking with the same gait as observed earlier. Robinson walks south on the sidewalk on the east side of the Losi Center building. Robinson enters the Losi Center building through a set of doors on the southeast corner of the Losi Center building. I actually also used the daylight system, so the sun angle should be correct. And you see him walking there. And then eventually he'll make his way into the Losi Center building. But see how this is absolutely similar to what they have in their 360 degree video. They're going to be able to film him moving along, going into the building and eventually onto the roof, and I animate those as well, and you'll see those momentarily. So Tyler Robinson is about to enter the Losi Center building, and this is where I pick up my 360 degree video again. Almost his eyes. He's going through the door. Obviously, he'd probably walk slightly slower than that. And we don't know what Tyler Robinson was doing in the building from 12:04 to 12:15. It could be that he actually went out those back door and then took a right and walked a little bit. You can see the courtyard where Charlie Kirk spoke, and he was doing his event. And maybe he watched that for a little bit, saw that he was on stage, and then came back and went up the stairs. So what I'm suggesting is after coming in here, we don't really know where he went, but it's possible that he went out here and turned to the right. You see in front of us right there? If you go to the right, that actually goes to a place where you can see the stage.
I bet that's what he did. He went over and watched and made sure that he was about to go up on the stage.
And then Tyler Robinson walks up these stairs. At approximately 12:15 p.m., Robinson is observed walking up the stairs that lead to the common area adjacent to the Losi Center building. Robinson walks to a short concrete wall that separates the common area from the rooftop of the Losi Center building.
Yeah, people don't like this kind of stuff. They want to have a conspiracy.
Now, as you can see in that previous clip,
see him walking
there's a short wall that Robinson makes his way to. And it's very short. You can just basically step over it.
I guarantee
or
it.
just
Might be a little bit further down or whatever.
Into it. The documents state that at approximately 12:17 hours, Robinson climbs over the short wall and appears to crouch down on the north side of the wall of the rooftop, as you can see here in the video. At approximately 12:22 hours, Robinson stands up and starts running across the rooftop of the Losi Center building. Robinson runs to the west side of the rooftop and appears to scoot along the rooftop area as he gets closer to the edge of the rooftop. Now you'll see all of this in animated form. He gets closer to the edge of the rooftop, slows down, crouches down, and lays down.
Thank you.
And ever since then, about 3 weeks later, the drug DOJ said that we should start talking about revoking gun rights for transgender. So, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years? Too many.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys coming out here.
We appreciate you. Love you.
You're gonna go down and see the closer. They like shooting you guys here.
Crowded. It's just there's just so much. So
before we had a flag and we had it, so it was
Counting or not counting gang violence.
made us move.
What was that?
We are here live at Utah Valley State University. There's been a shooting at the Charlie Kirk event, the TPUSA event. There has been a shooting. Everybody's evacuating.
Isn't that weird? That's like the real time too. Like that's where he was when the crowd was doing what they were doing. It's wild. So he was way behind them. None of the cars or people walking around outside of that area knew what happened. So there you go. You have that. But hey, guys, I need your guys' support on the channel, please. We are currently just absolutely struggling. We're not even at $10 for the entire show, and as you guys know, that's not even close to our normal nightly goal. I'm sorry this isn't as entertaining as it should have been, or interesting, or whatever the hell the term is that you guys want to use. I don't know what else to tell you. I thought you guys wanted to do this, go over the, over this before we get to the hearing. So right over here, it said, at approximately 12:24 hours, the suspect ran north across the Campus Drive Road. So now this is where we just left off. He appeared to be carrying an item whose identity is not clear from the surveillance. The area to the north of Campus Drive Road where the suspect crossed over consists of a grassy area with trees. I don't think he has any experience. He just planned it out. I mean, he's shot, but, he's practiced shooting before. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser model. Okay, so it said he ran across the road. So what you're going to see is, so it says crossed over. At approximately 12:24, he crossed that Campus Drive. The area to the north of Campus Drive Road where the suspect crossed over consists of a grassy area with trees on the edge of UVU campus. Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark-colored towel. Well, I mean, that's exactly what he's running with. And then what you're going to see is on this camera right here, so as you see him running over there, he's going to cross the street, and they're going to keep looking, and they're going to see that he doesn't continue to go down this direction. That he disappeared into the woods. That's how they knew that he went into the woods. I guarantee it. Like, he went down below, and they couldn't see him over here. So they went, okay, go check right down there. That's why they were so quickly on the spot. And then down there they found the rifle. Then I think it's, let's see. Dash cam. So I think this right here, let's go to this document now. Anybody hearing what I'm saying? We're just getting crushed in here tonight. Should have stuck with Nancy Guthrie again, over and over again. Where's that part? Because it talks about how he, let's see. Tyler Robinson's cell phone. So this is, it's kind of weird because there's new information that sort of fits in different spots. Really, when did I almost get arrested? Go ahead. I want to hear your answer to that. Hey, Gray Hughes almost got arrested. When? When did I almost get arrested? Let's hear about it. Come on, troll. You have the. Here, I'm going to unhide the troll. Go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say. You've been unhidden, troll. When have I almost been arrested? Go ahead. No, go ahead. When have I almost been arrested? Go ahead. What an idiot. What a waste of time. Hey, I got a funny name. Watch this one. Yeah! Gray Hughes almost got arrested. Go ahead, clown. Go ahead. The floor is yours, man. Get your clever little comment out. Go ahead. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. I'll say right over here. Now let's go to this part right here. A search warrant was obtained for Tyler Robinson's cell phone. During a review of the data and information stored on the device, I observed a Google Maps route with a start time of 9/10/2025, that date, at 6:46 p.m. accounting for the time conversion from UTC, it's 6 hours different. The route start was approximately 12:46, so you have to take 6 hours off of it. The route start time was approximately 23 minutes after the shooting. The starting point for the route was listed with GPS coordinates. Man, see, that's what I want. that right there will prove that his car, if it was parked right where we said it was. The starting point for the route was listed with GPS coordinates. The starting point coordinates were near... oh, wait, no, that's later. Shit, okay. Yeah, so anyways, what happened is this. Watch. Let me show you here on camera. So after he shot, he went running over to the wooded area here. And I don't know exactly how he made it back over here to the ROTC area, but I have it kind of like, maybe he could have even gone like, walked along right here and just went up this and then over, and then right here's the ROTC building, because later he comes out right over here at like 12:29. So the first thing he did over here, when he went in there with his dark clothing on and the backpack and the rifle, etc., he left the rifle wrapped in a towel in there and then changed clothing to that maroon shirt and I think shorts. And then he came out like this. And then we see him on camera, on the TMZ camera, walk by there and then eventually runs this direction. And then we know that he must have taken a right here because that's the direction he came from when he arrived on the scene. And then based on that aerial footage, I think this is exactly where his car was parked, right there. So he would have got back to the vehicle at 12, I'd say right there, probably at like 12, like 34 or 5 or so. And then from there, he drove over to this mall here, and he literally had his car parked right there. And while the car is sitting there on the surveillance footage that's out there, he searches how to get to like Quick Quack Car Wash, or maybe like, where's the closest car wash, and he chose that one. And then from there, he drove down there, and then he's at this car wash at 12:57. So it's like almost every bit of his movements are traced and tracked. Okay, well, I gave you a shot, you dumbass troll, but you didn't say anything, so I'm going to have to get rid of you now. All right, you guys, when I do these shows, you guys know that my channel relies on the people watching the channel to help support it. And currently tonight we've had almost no support at all. And I don't know what made tonight different than yesterday or the night before that, etc. But if you guys have the ability to support the channel, that would be great. I know this isn't, we're not talking about Nancy Guthrie tonight, okay? That's why there's only 91 people here. If I was talking about Nancy Guthrie, I'd have 200 and something. All right? But I need your guys' support when I do these shows. It's as simple as that. If not, we can just do something else, and I'll just do this tomorrow, because it doesn't seem like people are. It's not, people don't have the enthusiasm here. I don't know what the deal is. Yeah, and so we have that part there where it said he went over to the Quick Quack Car Wash, and that was at 12:46. And that was in the shopping center. And it says Google Maps route is from the area near the shopping complex to a Quick Quack Car Wash. Agent Draney with the Utah State Bureau of Investigation obtained records and video footage from the Quick Quack Car Wash of Tyler Robinson, a 2013 Dodge Challenger. Hey, thanks, Julian Kane. Hey, somebody at least thought of something. Thank you so much.
Think he did the car wash with a purpose or no?
I don't know if he went there. I mean, he could have gone there to maybe, I don't know. Not sure what if that had something to do with, maybe at the car wash is when he changed clothes again, he may have put jeans on or something in the car, you know, and while it's in the car wash, he was able to do that, I guess. Yeah, and it's weird, though, because they actually have his license plate, too. So that means they can place Tyler Robinson again in the area at 1246 with his license plate. So it is his car. And then they have his car on earlier in the day, too. And I think we'll watch that video here in a second. I mean, I don't know, should we switch over? I mean, I should have probably done that one first, but the probable cause document starts later. I also observed a second Google Map route that had been stored on Tyler Robinson's device. This one's really interesting. The Google Maps route had a start time of 9/11/2025 at 7:33, which would make that 1:33. Accounting for the time conversion from UTC to Mountain Daylight Time, the route start time was 1:33. The starting point for the route was listed with GPS coordinates. The starting point coordinates were in the neighborhood to the north of and close proximity to the area where the aforementioned rifle was located near UVU. The Google Maps route is from the area near UVU campus to 3419 South River Road. Investigators have previously, and that's where he lives, right? So he was looking how to get home. He actually was still around in the neighborhood until 1:33 the next day. I mean, isn't that crazy? So look at how this part worked. So after he went to Quick Quack and obviously went to Dairy Queen at some point, etc., and then he comes back, and you know where he parked? He parked right here. And this house here has him on surveillance at 1:35. This is where he did that search that we just mentioned. He was parked right there, right next to the house that was under construction. That's this one. And he put the rifle right there. So look at that. He was parked there. The rifle's there. He's sitting there waiting for it to clear out. And he wanted to go get that rifle that he left in there. And then he decided, crap. Remember he messaged Twigs and said, yeah, man, it doesn't look like I'm going to get it. That sucks. And then he searched for, at 1:33, Google Maps. And then at 1:35, he pulled away. He left. But he actually parked here at 12:47. So he was parked there from 12:47 a.m. all the way until 1:35 when he drove away. So it's almost like 45 minutes. 48 minutes or so. Pretty crazy, right? And so it's just crazy to me, man. He just was right there, and he just kept trying to get back to his rifle, and he wasn't able to get it. And he parked over there for a reason. You know, if you kind of kept driving around over there, you'd look suspicious, but you're over back on a street right behind it. All right, so let me go back to, so we have that, but I'm going to play the video from earlier in the day, in the morning. This is the first video that I made. So this is part 1 here. Kirk, a social media political, and I use the probable cause document, the warning shots of political, and it started to lean more to the left, becoming more pro-gay and trans. Robinson mentioned that Charlie Kirk would be holding an event at UVU, which Robinson said was a stupid venue for the event. Robinson accused Kirk of spreading hate. Early on in the case, there was reporting that a Utah Valley University student claims he called the FBI after seeing suspicious person on the Losi Center roof twice in the weeks leading up to the Charlie Kirk assassination. I believe the school newspaper interviewed this individual, and here's a portion of that audio.
Yeah, I guess I don't remember the exact day. I know at least the second time was last week, either Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah. So last Tuesday and Wednesday, but they were on separate days.
They were separate days.
Okay.
It may have been both last week, Tuesday and Wednesday. One of them might have been like the week before Thursday or something. But yeah, like I said, it wasn't memorable or significant enough at the moment for me to really remember.
What did he look like?
Let's skinny, tall.
Yeah, so this is like a guy that right after he was interviewed, and he said he saw somebody that looked like Tyler Robinson actually go onto the roof and go all the way over there. Okay, I don't know if we need to play all that part.
Way,
but he was right there on the roof.
The first time I thought it was
a minute or so, or
said.
So let's go to
bit
this
over
part right
two
here.
times.
Okay. Do you know about how old he was?
He looked
Like a college student?
he looked like a student. Maybe 20s, 30s.
Also in the
only
charging
88
document is a
here.
conversation between Twiggs and Tyler Robinson. In the conversation, the roommate says, "How long have you been planning this?" Tyler Robinson said, "A bit over a week, I believe." This seems to verify that witness's account. Now, on the day of the shooting, Tyler Robinson is seen in his Dodge
See,
Challenger
there's the Dodge
showing up
Challenger right there.
before he shows up on campus. So if we look at the time here, it's 8:22, almost 8:23 in the morning. So he drove up this direction. Now he may have parked for a minute or so, or just based off of traffic, it took him a while to get to the parking structure. So here he is driving down the street. Now the bottom right-hand corner just before that, that's the house that has the surveillance footage on it. And I have it sped up here. So he's just driving around. And I'm going to say it took him 5 minutes after driving by there to get to the parking structure where he eventually parks and then heads over to the Losi Center. But here comes the vehicle right now. And it drove by also that same camera that films him walking by himself on his final run. Agent Mortensen reviewed Utah Valley University's security video and discovered Robinson's Challenger enter UVU parking structure located on Campus Drive at approximately 800 West at 8:28 a.m.
So this is before.
And then there's the
everything.
parking structure right there.
He goes in there.
He goes into the parking structure, and after entering the
Why is
structure,
it doubled up
Robinson
like that?
parked and exited
My
the
audio.
vehicle and walked around the campus until 9:24 hours when he returned to his car. In the video, Robinson is seen wearing a ball cap, red t-shirt, light-colored shorts, and Converse-style tennis shoes. During the time that Robinson walked around the campus, he is seen visiting areas such as the wooded area near where a rifle is later recovered, and the site where the victim was shot.
Isn't that crazy? He was on
And
campus
right here you'll
scouting.
have a video of him. I made an animation of him walking using 3D Studio Max. Obviously he has shorts on in the real world, but I'm just giving you a representation of where he may have been walking, somewhere on the street right here. But he has the maroon shirt, the baseball cap on, but the characters in 3D Studio Max only have pants, and there are no ones with shorts, so just picture him this way. They didn't mention that he was wearing a backpack, and you'll hear that here in a minute, but this is where he perhaps walked into the parking structure. This is the entrance. This is the same entrance that he exited, I guess, when he went up the stairs after going through the tunnel that we'll see in a later video. So he enters the building at 9:24. Robinson leaves the parking structure in his vehicle at approximately 9:32 a.m. hours and traveled northeast from the campus, which is the direction from which he is later observed walking towards the campus prior to the shooting. Now we see Tyler Robinson in his Dodge Challenger. He is heading up to 800 South. He's going to turn right, and then eventually he ends up on 600 West, I believe. And in this video, I actually have him slow down and so forth at lights. This is also using 3D Studio Max and a 3D model of the entire UVU campus area that is significant in what we are discussing. So after the vehicle stops there for a moment, it takes off and starts moving. Now, if you have a big screen TV or a cell phone, whatever, you can just zoom in and watch the vehicle. It'll be probably slightly blurry doing that. But here comes the vehicle. It's now passing. It just passed the area right now where a camera across the street is likely going to pick him up.
Now, we don't know, we don't know where he parked. There was a certain time frame where he moved the vehicle back over where we see it on that aerial photo.
And that shows that he's sort of in that general area, especially since you see him walking a little bit later. Now, I think he parks the car here in a moment in a very good location. This is on 600 West. And I think that this area right here would be a perfect...
Yeah, nobody's required to pay anything. I'm just trying to get support from the people that can. And that's what we've done on this channel for a long time. But tonight's one of those nights where people just aren't... I don't know what you call it.
Perfect location for him to have parked.
Anyways.
And I think that would be right around 9:36.
Parked right there, maybe.
And then when we look at this, it's only 21 minutes later where we see Tyler Robinson wearing exactly the same clothing, minus the backpack that he was wearing.
He drove by, and then he goes all the way on campus. So when he drove by earlier, when we see him drive by here, he doesn't park or anything. He's actually heading to campus when you see him do that. He was just sort of scouting his neighborhood again, like the area that he knows he's going to be moving around in. So he's driving by, and then he drives on the campus, and then he looks at the wooded area. He looks at the area where Charlie Kirk was shot, and then he drives back, and he parks it over here, and then 20 minutes later, he starts walking again.
Just prior, when he went to the parking structure, visited the wooded area, and went to the area where Charlie Kirk was eventually shot. He was wearing that clothing minus the backpack. Now, I haven't seen this dry run, I call it, in any of the documents yet. And yet, this is Tyler Robinson. He's coming right from the direction of where the Dodge Challenger was parked, and he is doing a dry run. He's taking the exact same route that he eventually takes later, which will be in a subsequent video. This is part 1 of 3 different parts, and then I'll put them all together in one final video. But I think it's important to know the facts of the case. Now, some of this I'm speculating on where he literally parked the car, etc. But we know that he was parked up in that area because law enforcement has seen him on surveillance cameras. Now, right when he gets down to the end of this little curve right here, the beginning of the curve, I guess, I switch over to a 360-degree camera. So this is right where that location is. And he's walking down the street. And I have it at 150% speed just for saving some time on the video. But this is the precise walk that Tyler Robinson made on his dry run. Now, I think his final walk may have started closer to 800 South. This is just his first dry run trip. Now, he may have actually taken this whole exact route the final time, but he wasn't seen walking on that same camera footage or surveillance footage that we just were looking at when he was wearing the maroon shirt, the shorts, the backpack, the hat, and glasses. So he's just continuing to walk in this direction, and then eventually makes his way. At the end of this street, you're at 800 South. Now, right in this area, we'll later discover in one of the subsequent videos, this is the portion right when the camera turns to the right. Right there, that house filmed the Dodge Challenger parked very early in the morning on the 11th. Now, just after midnight and a little bit around 1 o'clock. We'll get to the precise details later, but that's when he took off and went back home. So right now it's 10:01, and I timed this.
Is anybody here, you guys? Like I said before, you guys need to be communicating in the chat to help the algorithm. That's why we're getting crushed in here. Nobody's saying anything. There's like one comment every, like 3 comments every 4 minutes or something. Is it that boring? Because if it is, I'll just do something else, you know. I mean, this right here should be the quintessential thing to watch if you're going to be doing the Tyler Robinson case. This is exactly what Tyler Robinson did. I've put it all to video. We can see it and watch it.
This all out. That's why I know with my shadow analysis videos that I made that it wasn't 8:08 when Tyler Robinson was seen walking in the neighborhood on surveillance footage using the same camera that TMZ put out there, or at least the house over from where TMZ used. People were saying that was 8:07, 8:08. I think Candace Owens put that out there. It might have been reported elsewhere, but it was actually 10:07 or 10:08. Now I have a running clock down here. It's also keeping up with the 150% speed. And in a moment here, we should be reaching 800 south. It's about a 10-minute walk from the first surveillance shot to where we see him again later. Now, with a rifle in his pants, the walk would obviously be a little bit slower.
I thought he parked over here to the right.
And I was there in October, so
so,
somebody
no.
here has a bunch of Halloween characters outside. It's pretty good. And just off to the right before I got to that Halloween house, there's a street right there, and I think that might be where he moved the car just prior to his final run. And then he could just walk right back out onto this street right here with the gun down his pants and then turn left.
Yeah, and so this part right here coming up.
This is 800 south.
Coming up here is similar to what Tyler Robinson did on the final run, but this is what he did in the morning. So if you look at the clock right here, this is the actual time it took for me to walk this. All right? I mean, it's not the same time of day, but the same amount of time. So if you look at it, you can
momentarily
see it.
We'll pass the...
So remember when we saw him on surveillance footage? That's when I started the clock.
Area where we've seen
a minute ago
Tyler Robinson walking with his dark outfit on, the pants, you know, his final run.
15:41. Yeah, so like back here, watch. This footage right here. See him? This is the real time. This right here is synced up to the surveillance footage. So there he is walking.
Now, I haven't seen
right?
characters outside. Momentarily, we'll pass the area where we've seen Tyler Robinson walking with his dark outfit on, the pants, you know, his final run where he's literally going to commit the homicide. And you see him right here on these jagged fence, sawtooth fence.
Yeah, that's so crazy. See that vehicle right there? Here, watch. I think that vehicle always parks there. Because that's the same one. That's the same vehicle that's in the surveillance footage. Here, let's see. In this one, let's see. Yeah, right there. See that truck kind of thing with that? So this is at 11, you know, that day at 11:45, and then even when I'm there in this video, if we go back just a little bit, that's that same truck right there.
Homicide.
That's crazy. Must park there.
And you see him right here on these jagged fence, sawtooth fence wall here.
Wild.
This is where he's picked up on the other side of the street, walking on this side. And you'll see that in the next video. But this is the dry run, and the dry run ends right at the grassy area after the final surveillance shot. So there isn't, we don't have any footage of him on campus or anything like that after that. And it could be that that's the only thing that he worked on, was going to the tunnel, going through the tunnel and going, okay, this is how I can do this. But he obviously knew about the tunnel and how it leads right into the same parking structure. So earlier he parked in the parking structure and exited, and then he must have known that a tunnel goes to the other side. And I wonder if that's what made up the missing 8 minutes, right? Because it was something like 9:24 he got back to the parking structure, and then 9:32 is when his vehicle exited the parking structure.
Maybe he was looking around for
so
that
that's 8 minutes. So maybe in that 7-minute time frame,
7 or 8 minute time frame there. He went through the tunnel and could see where it came out, and then eventually did the dry run, which we're seeing right now, and it worked. Now, I don't know if he looked at a map. He's obviously been there before. This is, as we played earlier, he had shown up before, so he might have had this all worked out already. And right now he's walking down the street, and right about here is where the original TMZ video picked him up when he's wearing the dark outfit. And the house was on the right. That house right there. Right now, at this point, I switch over to Chuck Keeler's video because he walks right next to the fence, just how Tyler Robinson was doing it. And he's going to pass that garage that you see on the right, and right above the middle garage door at the top corner is a surveillance camera, and that's what picks up Tyler Robinson right after this bush here. So here he comes. See? So he's wearing exactly the same clothing. Look at the time. See, 10:08 right there. That's exactly the time that I got, because it was said that it was 8:08 or 8:07 or 8, I think it was 8:08 they said. And then I did shadow analysis and told everybody, hey, no, it's actually 10:08. Because the shadow was totally different at 8:08. And so, that's the recognized time now, because whoever, Candace Owens is the one who said it was 8:08. And so it says, it's 10:08, and it matched perfectly. I walked the whole thing and got right there. So that means that that's what he just did in real life. Like when you saw him on that surveillance footage at the house, and then that whole walk we just did, and then he goes by right here. 10:08. And then right near the end, he sort of veers off closer to the grass. All right, well, thank you all very much for watching. If you could share... Yeah, see, that's so he goes down there and... The video. And then he crosses that, obviously. I mean, who knows what he did? We don't have any other information. Like, did he go into the parking structure at that time, too? You would think he would have had to go through the tunnel again. He was just practicing. Okay, this is it. And then he makes his way back to the car, and then he does his final pass. The final one, where he ends up killing Charlie Kirk. I think this part's pretty good, when it, right around and right here, basically.
Form. He gets closer to the edge of the rooftop, slows down, crouches down, and lays down.
A few weeks ago, there was a transgender mass shooter, and ever since then, about 3 weeks later, the GHI said that we should start talking about revoking gun rights for transgender. So, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years? Too many.
Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys coming out here.
We appreciate you. Love you.
You gonna go down and see the they like shoot you guys here?
Crowded.
It's just, there's just so much.
Before we had a flag and we had it, so it was
Counting or not counting gang violence.
made us move.
What was that? We are here live at Utah Valley State University. There's been a shooting at the Charlie Kirk event, the TPUSA event. There has been a shooting. Everybody's evacuating.
Oh, there you go. And then after that, he, that's when, about 20 minutes later, he's over at that shopping mall. And then looks up Quick Quack. They have that. Yep, but I'll try it again, you guys. Any chance you guys could help support the channel tonight? Not sure what's going on. There's obviously no notifications went out to anybody. We hardly have anybody here, and it's just not really plausible when you do shows like that. Doesn't work. Yeah, what was this part here about the dash cam? I don't know. Let's see, the search warrant was obtained to search the 2013 Dodge Challenger, Utah license plate number T455CE, registered to Tyler Robinson. The search of the vehicle, a dash camera inside the vehicle was seized as evidence, and the evidence was documented by the Utah State Bureau of Forensic Services and the FBI Evidence Response Team. The dash camera was a Van True dash camera with one outward-facing camera and one inward-facing camera. According to open source data, the Vantour dash camera utilizes a micro SD card for internal memory storage. A power cord for the dash camera was disconnected but was found sitting on the front passenger seat inside the vehicle. While reviewing the aforementioned surveillance video footage from Quick Quack Car Wash, it appears that the dash camera was mounted on the dash of the Dodge Challenger. I wonder if they have anything from that. Hey, well, thanks. The Pulse with Pepper. I don't know how... It's so strange to me that people are just finding my channel out on this case. I've been putting out these videos that are just so fact-based and damning. Like, if anybody that watched Candace Owens ever came here, they would probably go, oh shit, she's full of crap, you know, but they don't, so that's how it is. I'm gonna read this part here. Is there more than one? That's the only time. So this was pretty interesting. Let's see. Hurley hat, computer tower, gray Converse shoes with white laces, astronaut web camera, documents, Hewlett Packard. This is like search warrant stuff. Down here it says USB on backpack, targets SD card, burnt note found in trash. That's the note that had the, you know, check this out, you know, I had an opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I did it. That was in the garbage. Trash can burnt. It's just weird how YouTube algorithm works, you know. All right, I'll just go through this. Thanks for the 5 cents. Let's see. I don't know, man. Doesn't feel like I should be doing the show right now. I'll just go through this. 8:22 in the morning. The gray Dodge Challenger is heading north on 589 West. 8:23, gray Dodge Challenger is heading north on 589. And then 8:29, gray Dodge Challenger, and walking in person with shorts and maroon shirt. 9:57, Tyler Robinson is wearing shorts and a maroon shirt. 9:59, Tyler Robinson exits camera. Tyler Robinson is wearing shorts and a maroon shirt. And then at 10:08, Tyler Robinson's wearing shorts and a maroon shirt. And, 10:08, he's wearing shorts and a maroon shirt, and he walks by that those homes like a dry run. And then it shifts over to 11:45. Tyler Robinson's wearing jeans, black shirt with white logo, dark backpack, light shoes. 11:46, exits the camera. Tyler Robinson wearing jeans, black shirt with white logo, dark pack, light shoes. And 11:49, enters video. Enters video. Tyler Robinson wearing jeans, black shirt with white logo. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of too technical to go over this crap here. You can just look at it. But these are all the different. I mean, it's like they have Tyler Robinson basically at every moment he's there. They have his vehicle seen on camera with the license plate. Apparently, they have video where you can see his face clearly, likely on his original, when he showed up on campus, around 8 something in the morning. When he went to campus, he, maybe didn't put covers on or anything like that. Yeah. But it's, we just recently, if you guys missed it, a few weeks back, we got some aerial footage from somebody, and it shows that it looks like the Dodge Challenger's parked right there. It's right there. And at 11:28. So that means it's very likely, because at 11:45, he's walking right there, that, it's still there at 11:28. He probably left there at 11:40 or so, walks this direction, and then goes like that. And it was there even earlier, too. I don't know what that 9:35 p.m. thing is there. I don't know what that is. Not sure why I have that. But hey, guys, I appreciate you guys all showing up. I'm going to get heading off. Thank you to Lasso Lacey, Alley Cake, welcome, Lance, Julian Kane, Alley Cake, and Lisa. I guess we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a live stream. Hopefully you guys show up.